with all of the entrepreneurial stuff that you've done, how do you take the approach with your kids and like what they want to do or their passions?
That's so interesting you asked that question because you know my son Davis.
Yeah.
So I have one son, Davis, he's 17, and a daughter, Madison, who's 14. And they're both very passionate about what they do. And so Davis is a passionate filmmaker. So he loves making short films and movies, and he writes his own scripts and everything else. And so he just loves it. Like every free moment he has, he'll watch the latest movies, right? So he's just kind of like in that world. And I encourage it. So, it's like, I remember when I was younger, again, being from an immigrant family, I remember my dad asked me once, I think I was like 9 years old. My dad's like, what do you want? What do you think you want to be when you grow up? And I remember I said, maybe I'll be an actor. And he looks at me and says, no, you're not. He's like, that's a life of pain. That's what he said. He's like, what you want to do is you want to go into business, or you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or an accountant, something that's going to put food on the table. I'm like, yes, sir. What else do you say when you're 9 years old? So I still remember that conversation, and but I remember like look, this might sound funny, but I've never considered myself even that successful. I know I am. I know I've created some great businesses and I've done great, financially, but I haven't created Facebook. I didn't create Apple. You know what I'm saying? I've created some nice businesses. So I don't think it's like, for me to be like, oh my God, I'm so successful. It's like, I've done fine, right? But I remember it was the first time I ever realized like I've done okay is when my son Davis said, maybe I'll be a director, right? And my answer to him was, go for it. I gotcha. It's like, I'm going to support you all the way. And if that where your passion is, do it, right? And Madison, my daughter, is the same thing. She's a dancer, right? So she's a competitive dancer. She dances like 5 or 6 days a week, and she's always doing competitions and so forth. And she just loves it. Just loves it. Go for it, Madison. Right? You do you, right? And I gotcha. And so, would I say like filmmaking is a good path to make money? Probably not. Well, hopefully, but probably it's hard. The odds are against you, right? And being a dancer, there's not much money in dancing. More power to them, and they love what they do, and they're extraordinarily talented. Anyone who dances professionally for a living, I mean, God bless you. But it's not easy. And so, but if they're passionate about it, I got them.
Love that. No, it's cool. And it must mean a lot being Davis and Madison and knowing it's like I can follow the path that I want to follow, and I'm going to be supported doing that.
Yeah.
And what do you say to other parents out there whose kids have entrepreneurial tendencies, but maybe they just don't see it? The parents don't see it.
That's the thing. It's like oftentimes parents don't see it. It's you got to really pay attention. You got to spend time with your kids. You got to understand what moves them, what they're interested in, and hopefully be part of it. Be part of that journey. Especially when it comes to entrepreneurs. Like I said, I think most entrepreneurs are born with it. You're born with that desire to break free, right? To start something and to make an impact, right? To build something substantial and to say, I made a difference, right? I think it's just a path that some people want to take. And, it's like there's so many times someone will come to me, Ben, and be like, I love like your entrepreneurial journey, and I'm going to be an entrepreneur someday. I just need a few more years of experience, or I just need this to happen or that to happen or whatever. Honestly, it's never a good time. It just isn't. You're just going to have to make the jump because no one's going to make that jump for you, right? It's within you to make it happen, right? So if you truly are an entrepreneur, there's no waiting. You know, you should have started yesterday. Honestly, building what you want to build. And even if it's part-time, get it started. You know, just start working on it whenever you can. And when it's time to make that full jump, make the full jump. But don't just sit around saying, I'm going to be an entrepreneur someday. Right? And I have this idea, I'm going to start it some other day. Start it today.